All right. I am going to fulfill the wishes of Pat Kennedy of Close to the Edge as he's recovering from his surgery. He's asked for some of his visitors to come up with their list of 15 albums they've been listening to recently. And for me, it's kind of an unusual thing. I'm heavily into trying to find new music. So I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of that process right now. Try to get through 15 albums. I don't normally do that many in a show. Like on Find Music, I'll do maybe six at the very most. So I'll see what I can do. Not make this too long. So what I do is, of course, I get emails sometimes, or I get a YouTube algorithm will suggest something, and I'll investigate it. And when it comes to Bandcamp, for example, I buy it, or usually sometimes it's even free. They want me to listen to it, right? So here's my music player with a bunch of new music on it, right? You probably haven't heard of just about any of these, but that's part of the musical adventure. I've heard the classics so many times that I turn to new things. And sometimes a new thing will remind me of something old, that kind of thing. Like, it's an example of that right away. I think Analog Sunshine, that's a Bandcamp one. Let's see what this sounds like. So probably their most infamous or famous recording is called The Mountain. And then they have, I guess you would call them two CDs, Rejects from the Mountain, part one and part two. And their latest album is called Forest of the Surreal Dream. And if you look at those times on that album, we got some really long times there, 16 minutes, 11 and a half minutes, 9.5 minutes. And the short one is 5 minutes. But you look at the rejects from The Mountain, and these are generally more normal song lengths, right? Except for the Foothills is seven and change. Otherwise, no, there's another 7 minute one, Rising from the Ashes. So I just have to explore. And one of the things I learned right away is that the sound quality is a little different between these albums, between Forest of the Surreal Dream, which is definitely quieter and dreamier, and then Rejects from the Mountain. I think I'll play you. Usually I'll play it from the first track forward. So part one, number one, start at the start, see what this sounds like. And I usually on the show, I'll play a minute at the most just to get a taste. So let's try that. I'm not in love with that song right away. I'm not. I don't know what to. My taste tends toward more from instrumental music. So if there's vocals, I have to really like the vocals for me to like it. Those vocals are. So I'll try another song. I don't know if the next one is a good idea, but let's try it. Sometimes I scooch in, get to the meat of it. Right? Yeah, so that one's giving me almost Pink Floyd vibes, right? Go a little longer with that one. Somebody's dad listened to Pink Floyd. All right, so that's just a small sampling. That's all I usually have time for on music. I try to keep the episodes from going too long. Uh, this is another new one. I listened to this one, Arch Echo. It's progressive metal. All right, so it's going to be much harder. And the album that I was introduced to was Final Pitch, which is, I guess, their most recent release. They got a new album coming soon, but this is from 2023, Final Pitch. And on Bandcamp, usually you get really great prices. So, I mean, I usually pay no more than $1 for an album on Bandcamp. You can pay more on Bandcamp, but that kind of gets me when I get breaks like that. So, I'll go to Final Pitch. I remember Angry Sprinkles. This definitely reminds me of anybody knows the Yes album Talk. The start of Endless Dream is called Silent Spring. Those first minute and a half instrumental. This reminds me a lot of that. So I'll play it for you. So that's a minute. I like that. Yeah, definitely made me think of that start of that Endless Dream, Silent Spring, if you know it. All right, so that was pretty tasty. So we'll move on. Um, Usually when I'm getting ready for a show, I'll research more about the band or whatever. But now I'm just listening. Okay, well, I just downloaded today Cedar Hobson. It's a it's an alternative name. He has another name that I just downloaded yesterday, so he put a second release out under a different name. Uh, so I mentioned it, so let's play it. Let's see what the Sprout's like. Give it a minute. If that much. All these downloads say unknown genre. Like you have to, okay, wait and see. This is starting kind of dreamy. The album's called Kuna Uzi. Sounds kind of Kuna Uzi right now. The song's called The Sprout. Kind of dreamy. So it's a 4-minute song. We're almost at the 1-minute mark. Usually something else happens in a song by then, right? Here we go. So I'll give this a little more time. Electronic. I love electronic music. If you do, kudos to you. Not bad. 2-minute sample of this one. Oh, the vocal comes in at 2 minutes. Well, that song's progressing nicely. That could be a good album. I'll be checking it out more. All right. See what else is there. There's this guy. His name is Scott Lawler. He lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's generally a new age artist, but this one is with Cousin Silas. So let's see what Dark Science sounds like. This is from Song of the Sky. That sounds pretty new agey. Let's see if it's any different with Cousin Silas along. Dark Science. Might have to scooch in. These songs are a little longer, as you can see. I think this is the shortest one, and it's almost 6 minutes. I'll scooch in. Oh, it didn't scooch. What did I do? There we go. Oh, that's dark, yeah. So there's an excuse for Scott to do something not New Age with Cousin Silas, the Dark Science. Ambient, right? Dark ambient? That's what you would call it. Scooch up a bit more. Oh yeah, that's dark ambient. And if you like dark ambient, I'd recommend Steve Roach's album, The Magnificent Void. It's my favorite dark ambient album. And this one I'm going to be giving some more listens to, that's for sure. Okay, am I keeping track of how many I'm doing? I think that was 4. Let's see. Alan Sunshine, Arch Echo, Cedar Hobson, and Cousin Silas and Scott Lawler. Okay. Now, Crimson Chola, or Choya, probably the right way to say it, is an offshoot of another musical entity. And I'm not sure how it's created because they seem to come out with something every month, so I'm wondering if it's AI or not. Right? If you have a new album every month, that's, I don't know, maybe that's possible. But I think I'm going to skip that one. I'll go to one that I know is interesting, Dead Earthlings. Here's your proof. Loomings. Let's see what Loomings is. Their first album from 2020, pre-pandemic or during the pandemic. Electronic so far. Tally. I gotta scooch up here. Not much happening yet. It's your own. Holy cow. Babe, give it up when you're feeling down. That girl wrote this in a permanent frown. That girl, nobody ever wanna come around. That's for sure. Yeah, so I only heard it like once before, but this is good stuff. Dead Earthlings, I can dig it. All right, moving forward. Peak. There's an album. If you want more music for the money, I mean, Desert Rock Radio is like a three CD set. It's just too much, but it's all that could be AI. Not sure. Right, it's just a little too easy, but this one is interesting. Diablo in Alpujarras, which I think is from South America somewhere. Alpujarras. See what that sounds like. Let's do the obscure devil, Diablo Oscuro. I love music from all over the world. I hope you do too. Yeah, this one is more moody, ambient. I'm gonna jump up because sometimes I get impatient. And a dreamy too. I remember this one has some interesting instrumental touches to it. It's a step above regular ambient. Little guitar licks. Okay. Oh, my mind is digging this. I can definitely get lost in that sauce. That's pretty good. Okay, moving on to number 7. See, I'm keeping track. Um, what's interesting? What's next and interesting? Well, yeah, and there's sometimes there's a band you've heard of, like Geese. I don't know if you've heard of Geese. They're kind of like one of the new upcoming bands. I think I can get away with it. I'm not sure if I've played any Geese on my regular show yet, so I'm gonna skip it because they're some of these bands that are too popular, they don't want assistance anymore, right? Sometimes you get I remember this was on the algorithm, YouTube algorithm, this artist Fumio Miyashita from Japan, and he was in the Far East Family Band, which also had as a member Kitaro. So if you know anything about New Age music, Kitaro was, one of the New Age artists of the 80s, right? One of the top ones. So this guy was in the same band, so he's quite similar, and he's even on the same label, Domo Records. I remember that. But sometimes when you download from different sources, I had to really hunt around for this guy's albums. Some sources, you don't get a cover. That's okay. I'm a quasi Buddhist. I don't need material things. So I remember his early albums from the 80s are more conventional electronic type thing, like Tangerine Dream, Jean-Michel Jarre, that kind of thing. So I'm trying to scooch over to that album. Can I scooch this thing? No. See, that's a major scooch. That's because I got to move me. It'll make it easier. Scooching. Yeah, there we go. So I want to go to Earth. That was the first album, the beginning of his sound, creation. Let's hear it. Fumio Miyashita. promising start. Is five, almost 6 minutes. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, slow build on creation here. Yeah, there's your electronic. Pretty typical of that time. Like electronics was starting to head into a new age at that time. Yeah, it's a good album you can put on and do something else while you're listening to it. Yeah. A pretty sweet start there. But it's going to have those same rhythms throughout it that you would hear, for example, as I said already, in Tangerine Dream albums or Krautrock. Those kind of rhythms. All right, moving on. Let's go to Giant Lungs. I know they haven't hit the big time yet, and they're really promoting them. These guys, where do you hear them? Resonora. Very tasty riffage here. And the singer, all right. Okay. All right. So Giant Lungs is something I'm definitely going to investigate farther. Look at those titles: Dead Space Balloon, Crab Riders, Death by Delay. Okay. All right. Number nine. Number nine. Where did I go? Yeah. I know Cornelians, they're from another country too. And this is an older album, is that right? From 1974, prog rock from 1974. Let's get a taste of that. Rising looks like just an intro, 2 minutes, and Not an Ordinary Life looks like a 10-minute epic. So I'm going to go there to see what Not an Ordinary Life sounds like. It's probably going to build. The sound quality is not as good as today, is it? I was expecting a long instrumental. Let's scooch in for sure. More rock than prog, right? Maybe I spoke too soon. That's proggy. Okay, Cornelians, get your prog fix. Love it. Moving on to number 10. Now, I've got to do a plug for a local band. They're a duo. They're called Las Motitas. They haven't put out a full record yet. These are just recordings from when they were performing at some small venue here, small venue there, right? They're trying to get discovered. So I'm gonna try to do my bit to try to help them because I know their music a bit. It's very unique. Of course, my favorite is She's an Alien from Outer Space. All right, let's hear some of that. I think the sound quality is going to be pretty poor because it
All
is
right.
a live recording.
Thank you guys. This song is called "She Was an Alien from Outer Space."
And this is on Bandcamp.
Agent G after home base. Agent G after home base, do you read me? Yes, I'm finally orbiting the planet. I have the subject in my view screens right now. I've studied him the whole way over here. I know he has what we need. After 8 subjects, 8 planets, 8 plans, this ninth one has to work. But I still have one question. I have to suck his what? Brains. I have to suck his brains, right. But if I suck his brains, will he still be able to make those noises I love so much? Oh, they only use 10%? Got it. I thought that was a myth. Okay. Anyway, breaking orbit in 3, 2,
You can
1.
sing too, you'll see.
10,000 meters. 8,000 meters, firing back boost engines. 6,000 meters, deploying landing gear. 4,000 meters, 2,000 meters, 1,000 meters. Orbit of vertical landing achieved.
She was an alien from outer space. She came here to suck my brain, and I just can't let her go. She had alien hips and alien thighs. She mesmerized with those alien eyes, and I just can't say no.
I could, he plays, I swoon, he sings, I swoon.
All right, so this couple needs a record contract, people. They need to be properly recorded because they are very witty and entertaining and good music. Okay. Number 11. Hmm. I remember Magenta Room sounding interesting. But I'm also distracted by Milky Daddy, which is jazz. That contempo jazz. I don't know Magenta Room as well yet. I'm going to go to Milky Daddy, and then we're going to have a little visit with someone you might have heard of. He was the keyboardist for Mata Hoople. You heard of them, I hope. Morgan Fisher. So we're going to visit him. But Mata Hoople was a rock band, but here he's a new age guy. I mean, because it was in when was it? Yeah, in the 90s. So he was on the tail end of new age. But first, Milky Daddy, because Milky Daddy, this one was a real pleasant surprise. It's by this artist. You saw his name just a second ago. His name is over there in the L's. His name's Louis Zong. Okay, now Louis Zong, he does music that is I say almost suitable for children, I would say suitable for children, but Milky Daddy got a real jazz edge. So I'm going to play a Milk cartoon. 2 minutes of Milk cartoon. Let's see what it sounds like. Yes! Oh yeah. I'm instantly digging that. Oh yeah. Tasty bass. That was a fast minute, huh? So, electronics meets jazz. That's a good meeting place. Like it, like it. Okay, as promised, Morgan Fisher. Just so any of you Mata Hoople fans out there, knowing the sound of Mata Hoople, you will see that Morgan Fisher went in a different direction. Right? Look at those titles. You know it right away. It's the water music and flower music. Now, these are New Age albums, but they're a little more interesting than your normal New Age. And I don't know, for some reason, kalimba pedals. If that's the instrument I think is the kalimba, the one you play with the fingers like that. You know, the metal tines. Let's see if that's what it is. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. I once had a kalimba. What happened to that kalimba? The kalimba has kind of a sound is a little wet even if you listen. A form of African drum, I guess. But not drum like that, but like the fingers on the metal tines. You pluck them. Yeah. All right, so that's pretty subdued, right? Scooch in. Yeah, stay subdued. Yeah. New Age. Kind of pleasant. Very surprising coming from Morgan Fisher. All right, so if you like New Age, he's better than the average, that's for sure. Because I don't like that droning stuff. In New Age, you get kind of a drone going, and it's so sappy. But this is not sappy. So way to go, Morgan. All right, we just got 3 to go. All right. Let's see what's down here. Oh, have you heard any music? She is Chinese and she plays uh, usually remakes of popular songs that we would know, like Back in Black, that kind of thing, but with a Chinese instrument. And then she also has a heavy metal band backing her up. And so it looks like here, if I have it here still, I don't know, this one I might have unloaded. She had a new song called Breaking the Chains. Let's see if I can play that. No, no, I already took it out. See, so that it's just a ghost. You'll have to take my word for it on that one. Uh, I'll slide on. But Nini Music, check her out. Definitely. Does that qualify as one of the 15? When I do that, I'm going to count it. Nini Music, but take my word for it, you're going to like it. Okay, last two. What to do? What to do? Yeah, I needed a re-record Nirvana. That's why it's looking for something different. There's some weird stuff in Vaporwave, let me tell you. This one's so cheesy. Fantastic video, and please stand by is what it sounds like. It sounds like the music you would play during technical difficulties. Yeah, do you want a taste of that? I'll give you a taste of that. What to give you here? I'm gonna go right to technical difficulties, see what that sounds like. Sometimes you gotta be adventurous. I'm sorry, but we're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. That's what it is. Talk about cheese. If you like cheese in your music, I can have fun with cheese in my music. It's light. It's fluffy. Puts you in a mood. Okay, and the last one. Way down there. Come on. Haven't really ventured into Pliny enough yet to share it with you. There's Scott Lawler, who I already talked about. He's, generally new age, but not with cousin. What's the cousin's name? I don't remember now. It's cousin Silas. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Here's a rare recording. Sometimes you can find a rare recording from an old band. Now, Sharks was an offshoot of Free with a different vocalist, not Paul Rogers. And they made two albums, and then they worked on a third one. They didn't finish it. And I bought that album, and I only liked one song from it. Originally, the album was called Music Breakout, and then they changed it to Car Crash Tapes, I guess, because it didn't succeed, right? It wasn't completed. But this song is all right. Music Breakout. Let's hear a little bit of that. Singer's name is Snips. Be good. All right, that was a minute. And that is a sampling of 15 albums I've been listening to, trying to get to know better. And I hope you enjoyed this adventure. And keep on adventuring. Easy way to adventure. Check out my channel. We have new videos every Monday, Find Music. And we've done over 700 videos. So there's a lot of back catalog to go through if you're really looking for something different. Thanks for watching.